And that's what this work is all about. It's rooted in love, the love of people, the desire to end suffering, to bring that forward. That's what the why is, the purpose is, to serve and bring forth. And this is why Wednesday, what's your why? What drives you truly? Now, yeah, my why is my kids. It doesn't sound very energetically connected. Maybe if you said and share inside of you, my why is to be an example of possibility for my children and grandchildren, great-grandchildren, great-great-grandchildren that are yet unborn and not even conceived of, probably in a conversation before this moment. Yeah, that juices me. I want to teach them, I want to share with them, I want to free them and cause them to free other people. Yeah, that to be an example of possibility, that stands for me, because when your why is set optimally, when your why is set at a 9.999 level of mastery, when it's conditioned into your nervous system on a 10.0 scale, then when we have all of these things, these fears of rejection and failure that come up endlessly, why we will not pick up the phone and have the conversations, why we avoid versus move through without avoidance, why those things happen are very normal. It's not putting anybody down. It's not like, yeah, you got to just suck it up, man. You got to do the thing. And like, yeah, well, I don't think that really works. I don't think that's sustainable to live in a space of sucking it up and powering through. It's exhausting. I don't have to suck it up and power through because I'm so deeply connected to my why. I get tired. I get frustrated. I want to quit often. And when I do, I'm not powering through. I go overcome through the 7 destroyers of self-mastery, which is a foundational component, our self-mastery. What destroys it? Our self-mastery is the ability to get ourselves to be in zone action, to engage in those most optimal. Zone action is the most efficient and most efficient and optimal action steps you can take to drive your mission forward. We can't get near that if we're not connected to our why, because our survival brains, those brains, mine, yours, they're not built to thrive. They're built to just survive. So we avoid danger, just like a shark isn't eating people 99.9999% of the time, because people could hurt the shark. Sharks are looking for tiny little morsels. They're looking for defenseless fish or sick or injured fish. So they have the greatest efficiency to eat those things. And they know they'll find enough, so they don't create risk. That's what our survival brain does. It's how lions function, predators function in the wild, is the path of least resistance. Survive the day. Go hunt the food, live the day, have babies and reproduce, survive for as long as physically possible. I mean, we could live that way, not making fun of it. And in fact, most human beings do live that way. They succumb to their survival brain. We're not trained to think this way. We're not trained to feel this way. We're not trained to function this way in our educational system, right? Nice people to teach there, good people. I think I don't want to judge people, with the right types of intentions that believe they can do things, optimally. But, the cave people who were putting leeches on themselves to cure diseases, they had positive intention too. But ignorance is a pathway to horror and destruction. And we live in massive ignorance. That's what Unblinded is all about, is causing us, causing you, causing me to see what we don't see, because our dreams, fulfillment of our whys, WHY apostrophe, our whys, is on the other side of seeing what we don't see and then actualizing it through our zone action. And all of that foundationally begins with connecting to our why. And that's what Why Wednesday is about. I lived paycheck to paycheck for the beginning of my professional career. And I was struggling. I was having a hard time paying to go out to dinner. When I first got my first job, my law school loans, everything I was doing, I worked at a big firm. When I quit my job and started working out there, I mean, my God, I had nothing. I couldn't even pay my rent. Scariest time of my life. And a short time later, I was buying a beach house. And I wasn't buying it no money down. I had to put 30% down on it. I couldn't believe what had happened, where I went from making $2,500 a month, $2,500 a month. I couldn't afford my bills. I was racking up credit card debt. I had $100,000 of law school debt. And less than a year later, I was making $100,000 a month in the late 1990s. Long time ago. 100,000 then, it's like, you know, 200,000 a month now. Ish. I was going blind. I had the urgency. I was gifted with going blind. I was gifted with it because I'm very confident I never would have gotten there unless I had that urgency. But it didn't need to take that. And in time, the urgency of going blind was replaced by a much deeper connection to my why, which in 1990, late 97 became to be that example of possibility for my children. So it's Why Wednesday. What is your why? What drives you? My why now is I want to take this work to the world.